Hey guys, just one more video for today. I'm just doing a few of the questions that I found on my page. This is for Alicia Marie. She wanted to know how I deal with a day with bipolar. That's been a really big, long journey to do, but I know you said you've just been diagnosed, and I want you to know it is a long journey, but there is hope and it does get better. First of all, now that you have a diagnosis, I hope you have a good doctor that can work with you to find the right medications that work for your symptoms. But really the first thing I have to do to basically manage the illness is to take my medication every day. Doesn't matter how doesn't matter how good I feel or if the thing is people with bipolar tend to take the medication, start and it's working, so you feel good and you don't notice and you think that, okay, I feel better, I don't need to take the medication, so they stop taking and then the symptoms return. So the big thing is you have to take the medication every day to function. It is your medicine and it does work, and when it works you do feel better, and because of the meds you tend to feel better, so you need to keep taking them no matter. But if you have some kind of strange side effects, please talk to your doctor or your pharmacist and make sure you're not having a reaction, but just to make sure that and it does take a little bit to find the right drugs to help you. It may take a few different ones to figure out what works and doesn't work, and some of them do take 6 weeks to feel the full effect. I'm sorry to say, psychiatric drugs do not work instantly. They truly take 4 to 6 weeks to get in your system and to notice a difference in how you feel. So it is a long process. It takes time and you have to be patient, and it can get very frustrating, but don't give up. Keep going. How do I get through the day? First of all, when I'm struggling, I literally live 1 hour at a time. I no longer plan for weeks in advance what I'm going to do. I literally base it on how I feel. If I'm having a good period where I'm in a good phase and a stable phase, then I live life. I don't think about it. I just plan my life, and when I notice, it's about being self-aware. It's about being mindful and being able to say, "Oh, today's a bad day. I don't feel." But you got to know when to push yourself, and that's the hardest thing to learn, is when to push yourself and when to be gentle with yourself. It's all a learning curve. It's not really a magic. I can't tell you exactly just do this and it will work. But there are some days where you don't want to get out of bed and you're depressed, but you need to at least set a goal for when I'm in my worst depressions. I have to set one goal for the day, and if that means getting up and getting showered, if that's the goal for the day, and I accomplish that, then that's what I've accomplished. And if I can do more, great. And if I can't, that's okay too. But I always have to have a goal of one task a day. It could be get out of bed. It could be as simple as eat your dinner. It could be just any basic goal. It could be small steps. It's about baby steps. It's not about getting out of bed and going to work. Like, it's just what you can do that day. Big or small. And there's a point where you do have to push yourself, that it'd be easy to not get out of bed every day. But you do have to say, okay, no, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to, but I need to get out of bed at least and get dressed, and pushing yourself a little bit. When I'm really struggling with anxiety, I just have to go 1 minute at a time and get through that next 5 minutes until it passes. Distraction is a good thing. Find activities that you can do throughout the day to keep distracted. Arts, crafts, going to the library, going for walks, all help your mood. And if you can exercise, that does help your mood a lot. I know it's hard when you're depressed to go exercise, but if you can say, get yourself out the door for a 15-minute brisk walk, it can make a huge difference in your mood. I know it's hard to do, but once you get out that door, it does feel better. eating properly is a big thing when you're doing first figuring out depression, and just having a balanced meal and trying to take care of yourself as best you can. When you're manic, it's much harder because I'm not always thinking, I'm not always aware. That's when I have to ask for support, get my mom to almost take over a little bit. Anyone I'm really severely depressed, there's some point where I really can't do anything for myself. I have to get someone to push me, and she literally tells me exactly what to do and when to do it. She takes away if you have a problem with spending money when you're high, I literally hand over my credit card and debit card to my family or someone I trust and say, don't give these to me, because I have blown huge amounts of money. So that's one safety guard. If I know I'm getting high, and if someone notices that I'm getting high, my mom will come over and take them. It's just going one day at a time, and on the good days when you feel good and feel like you can accomplish stuff, do as much as you can. And days that you can't, being gentle and pushing, but knowing that some days you just have to take care of yourself. Unfortunately, there's no magic cure. It's just one day at a time and figuring it as you go. It's hard in the beginning, especially when you don't know anything and you're trying to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But basically, eating regular meals, taking your meds, and listening to yourself and figuring out what you can and can't do, and when to push and when not to. Those are the big keys. Once you figure that out, it gets easier. So I hope that helps. I don't know if there's something else specifically you want to know. For me, staying busy helps when I'm in a depression. So I do a lot of arts and crafts, go to the library, stuff like that. Calling up a friend can help in your depression. Mania is a little harder because you tend to be impulsive. So I find that's a little harder to manage. I'm not aware, and I don't really have many memories of what I do when I'm manic, so that one's kind of hard to tell you what to do, how to get through, because I tend to just fly by the seat of your pants and call my doctors as soon as I know I'm getting high. If I start knowing that I'm going hypomanic, which is kind of that elevated mood, but not completely manic, then I tend to call my doctor right away because I know how fast the psychosis and all that can kick in. So calling your team when you're depressed, or calling your team when you notice you're sliding a little bit, that's the best thing to do. So yeah, that's it. So I'm hoping that helps, and thanks for the question. Bye.